here in Shedeur is not even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone play. Bailey Zappi's running scout team. I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even here?
Oh, God.
If that's what you think about, because his jersey is selling, the Haslam's don't need jersey money, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, he hit the button.
Then why is he on the team if he's not even running scout team? Which I don't know.
Developmental project, Riz.
I'd love to ask him. Now today is Stefanski's day to cop out, which I love.
Yes,
he's
he
smart.
gives the coordinators.
So smart.
Yeah.
Somebody better ask Tommy Reese whether Shedeur's running scout team, because I heard he's not.
Oh, they hit the double button. Oh, man, it takes me back. Blah, blah, blah. To my local radio days, man. Sometimes you get in that booth, you get in that studio 4 hours, you and your co-host, and you forget the world at large. You start saying crazy things because you're locked up in that asylum. What? And you're trying to cut through, make sure everyone can hear you at your local little station. Come on, man. Tony, Rizzo, do better. Okay, I am here to correct all the ignorant and irrational takes that I come across. And I'm also here to pump up some of the dope ones, but it's becoming more difficult to find the dope ones because everyone has a platform and there's so many people wanting to cut through and stand out that the ignorant and irrational takes precedent.
And just like that, family, the drama hits the fan. That opening line right there, that's not just a casual observation. That's an accusation. That's the kind of soundbite that spreads like wildfire across Cleveland, across NFL Twitter, across every sports bar conversation in America. Somebody just said Shedeur Sanders, a rookie quarterback, a fifth-round draft pick, the son of Deion, prime time, Sanders himself, ain't even good enough to take scout team snaps. Let that sink in. Now tell me this, are we talking football here, or are we talking about fueling headlines? Because when you throw out something like, he's not even scout team, you're not questioning a player's spot on the depth chart. You're questioning his purpose, his existence, his legitimacy. And that's where the ignorance begins. Because here's what folks don't want to hear. Shedeur Sanders not running scout team isn't a punishment. It's not a demotion. It's a plan. It's strategy. And if you actually understand football beyond the surface, you'd realize Stefanski and this Browns staff are protecting their investment. But nah, that don't make the same noise as, why is he even here? See, when Tony Rizzo throws shade on the airwaves, people eat it up. That's the job of a radio personality, right? Cut through the noise, make headlines, stir up the pot. But at some point, don't you got a responsibility to at least know what the hell you're talking about? Now let's slow down and break it for everybody watching this right now. What is Scout Team? Scout Team isn't second string. It isn't your next man up. Scout Team is about mimicry. You're basically cosplaying as the Atlanta Falcons, or the Ravens, or whoever's on the Browns schedule that week. You're not running the Cleveland Browns offense. You're pretending to be the opponent. And what sense would it make for Shedeur Sanders, your rookie project, your potential face of the franchise, to spend his reps pretending to be Desmond Ridder or Geno Smith? Nah, you want Shedeur standing right next to Dylan Gabriel, standing next to Joe Flacco, eyes locked in, soaking up every single mental rep of the actual Browns offense. That's not a punishment. That's preparation. But of course, when Rizzo says, he's just standing around, it sounds like negligence. It sounds like wasted time. That's how you twist the narrative. That's how you create drama. And I got to ask you, audience, do you buy this narrative? Do you really think the Browns drafted Shedeur just to let him rot on the sideline? Or do you believe there's more to it? Drop your take in the comments because this is where fan opinion gets divided real quick. Here's the truth, every rep isn't physical. The higher you go in sports, the more mental the game becomes. Those sideline boring moments, that's where quarterbacks turn into sponges. That's where they're learning terminology, cadence, coverage reads. That's where they're getting ready to not just mimic another offense, but to actually one day run their own. And if you can't see that, then you don't understand development. Period. Don't get it twisted, Shedeur ain't wasting time. He's banking time. Because that's the thing. Development ain't about cramming it all in one night before the big test. It's about small, consistent reps, soaking it in, letting it stick. Just like in school when everybody else is pulling an all-nighter on Thursday, but the smart one is studying 30 minutes a day starting Monday. Who you think's going to remember that material come Saturday? That's Shedeur Sanders right now. He ain't sprinting for the quick fix. He's absorbing day by day until it's second nature. But of course, ignorant takes drown out smart ones. Tony Rizzo don't want to explain all that. He just wants to hit the button, make noise, and say, why is he even on this team? And that's where this becomes more than just sports commentary. That's where it becomes about protecting narratives versus protecting reality. Because here's reality, Shedeur Sanders is QB3. That's where he should be. You don't draft a fifth-round rookie to come in and instantly challenge Joe Flacco. You don't draft him to instantly leapfrog Dillon Gabriel. You draft him to sit, to learn, and to build. And if you've got any football IQ, you know that's exactly how great quarterbacks are built. So when people say, he should be scout team, I laugh. Because all that would do is waste his time. Now family, let me flip this question back to y'all. If Shedeur was running scout team, if he was pretending to be Desmond Ridder for the week, would those same people suddenly be praising him? Or would they say, see, he's just scout team, he's not a real QB? Think about it. Sometimes no matter what Shedeur does, the critics are going to twist it. And that's why this conversation matters.
Y'all know what scout team is? I hope y'all do. Okay, scout team is the team that we're going to go against that is really our teammates, but they're not going to play or they're lesser players. So you're on a scout team, so you're going to give us a look. That means you're going to look like the other team we're playing this week, and then we're going to be the Cleveland Browns. No matter what team we're playing, you're not the Cleveland Browns, right? Because you're the scout team. All right, that's different than being second string. I'm hoping y'all following me. Scout team is to give us a look. Be the Atlanta Falcons, okay? Why Shedeur is not running scout team is simple and smart. Can y'all give Kevin Stefanski a round of applause? I want to do like Tony Rizzo did. Yeah. Here's the thing. You don't want Shedeur, who is a fifth-round draft pick, third stringer, to be learning other offenses, to be mimicking other offenses or defenses when he's playing, because sometimes you got to even switch and play the other side of the ball.
And there it is. That's the truth bomb people don't want to hear. That's why Stefanski deserves a round of applause. Because instead of wasting Shedeur's limited reps, he's investing them. He's keeping his rookie locked into the system, not pretending to be someone else. But man, ignorance is loud. And when ignorance gets loud, even the fans get confused. There's no cure for hate, but there's clarity for those who listen. Because look at how crazy it's gotten. Some fans are really out here asking, why is he even here? Like Shedeur Sanders is just a jersey sale. Like the Browns' ownership is desperate for merchandising money. Really? The Haslams don't need Shedeur's jersey checks. They're billionaires. They didn't draft Shedeur to sell a couple thousand jerseys. They drafted him because there's long-term value. But lazy narratives spread faster than facts. And let's not ignore the names in this conversation either. Dillon Gabriel is running reps. Joe Flacco is running the offense. Bailey Zappe's on scout team. Everybody's got a role. But Shedeur's role? It's not as visible. It's not as flashy. It doesn't feed the instant gratification crowd. And that's why people don't get it. So let me ask y'all again. Do you value instant results? Or do you value long-term development? Because if you want Shedeur Sanders to succeed, you better value the long term. Now let's keep it real, family. You know what really fuels all of this? It's not just Tony Rizzo in his radio booth throwing out wild lines. It's the whole culture of hot takes. Everyone's got a mic, everyone's got a platform, everyone's looking for that one viral moment. And when you're locked in a studio for hours, sometimes you forget the world outside. You start saying things just to cut through the noise. But here's the danger. Those crazy things don't just stay in the booth. They echo, they spread, and before you know it, perception becomes reality. That's what's happening with Shedeur. The narrative is louder than the facts. And that's why we gotta slow this down and set it straight. Because ignorance travels fast. Football IQ is at an all-time low, but microphone volume is at an all-time high. Think about that. People who can't tell the difference between a blitz and a draw play are out here shaping public opinion. Folks who've never touched a playbook are trying to dictate who should be on scout team and who should be cut. That's the world Shedeur Sanders walked into. And family, let me ask you right here. Are you listening to real football minds, or are you letting Twitter coaches shape your view of Shedeur? Drop it in the comments. Because this right here is where fan bases get split down the middle. Let's go deeper. There's a reason Shedeur isn't out there running scout plays. You don't take your rookie quarterback, a possible franchise cornerstone, and turn him into a crash test dummy. You don't risk him mimicking another team's playbook and wasting mental space when he should be memorizing his own. You keep him clean. You keep him sharp. You keep him focused. Bailey Zapp? He's running scout team. But because that's his role. Dylan Gabriel? He's getting his reps, learning in the middle. Joe Flacco? He's the vet. He's showing how the offense should run in real time. And Shedeur? He's observing, absorbing, learning. That's his lane. And let's not miss this either. Stefanski knows exactly what he's doing. This isn't some accident. This isn't some oversight. This is calculated. Because if Shedeur gets thrown into scout team, he's not becoming a better Browns quarterback. He's just becoming a decent Falcons impersonator. And that's not what you drafted him for. So to all the fans saying, why is he even here? Let me throw this back at you. Why do you think NFL teams invest in rookie QBs at all if not to develop them the right way? Development isn't lazy. It's discipline. Because here's the truth, standing on that sideline isn't standing still. It's standing ready. It's preserving the body while charging the mind. It's building retention, not just reaction. And when Shedeur's number finally gets called, he's not coming in blind. He's coming in loaded. And here's where it gets messy. You got radio guys like Rizzo throwing shade, you got Twitter coaches with no credit screaming from their mama's basements, and you got fanboys who think jersey sales are the only reason Shedeur's on this roster. But guess what? The Haslams don't need jersey money. They're billionaires. They didn't draft Shedeur as a marketing stunt. They drafted him as an investment. And investments take time. So let's ask the question again. Would you rather Shedeur be a short-term scout team arm or a long-term Browns quarterback? Now, around here is where it gets poetic. Because even the critics start rhyming, spitting bars about Shedeur, pretending to be Joe Flacco running scout team. But underneath the rhythm, the message is clear. There's a whole wave of voices mocking the process. But process? Process is undefeated. And Shedeur Sanders is in the process right now. This isn't about scout team. This is about scapegoating. Because look closely, Shedeur's every move is magnified. If he's on scout team, he's not a real QB. If he's not on scout team, why is he even here? Either way, the critics win. Either way, the headlines feed. But that's where we, the people who actually watch, actually listen, actually study, gotta cut through the fog. Shedeur's not a marketing ploy. He's not a wasted draft pick. He's a rookie quarterback on a franchise that knows what it's doing. And if you can't see that, maybe it's not Shedeur who doesn't belong, maybe it's your take. Audience, let me throw it back again. How do you define value? Is value instant impact, or is value the potential to be your guy in 3 years, 4 years, maybe even longer? What's your timeline for greatness? Because if you're expecting Shedeur to be your day one savior, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you're willing to let the process play, you might just end up with something special. Now let's widen the lens. Because this isn't just about Shedeur. This is about how we consume sports. Everybody wants fast food takes. Quick, greasy, salty sound bites. Nobody wants the slow-cooked truth. But football? Football ain't fast food. Football's a marathon meal. It's prepared in stages. Shedeur Sanders is in the prep kitchen right now. And one day, he's going to serve it hot. Stop crying on the timeline. Start watching the grind. Because that's all it is. Friend, watch film. Study cadence. Stand next to Flacco. Stand next to Gabriel. Soak it all in. That's the grind. And that grind? That's worth more than any scout team rep could ever give him. So let's land this, family. The ignorant takes? They'll keep coming. The noise? It won't stop. But reality? Reality doesn't change. Shedeur's not on scout team because that's not his job. His job is to learn, to absorb, to develop, and to be ready. And if you can't see the value in that, maybe you don't understand football as much as you think you do. So here's the final question for you. When the day comes and Shedeur finally takes the field, are you going to say, "Man, I knew this was the plan all along," or are you going to be the same one who doubted him from day one? Because receipts get pulled. And Shedeur Sanders? He's stacking receipts every single day. This is Gridiron Insights, and we're here to cut through the noise. Don't let the ignorant takes fool you. The truth is simple. Shedeur Sanders is exactly where he needs to be. So if you ride with us, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Gridiron Insights for the realest breakdowns in the game. Because we're not here for the noise. We're here for the truth. Like and subscribe, family. Gridiron Insights, signing off.